Global TV News Prime. Tinubu appoints board for NIMASA. In business, Shettima inaugurates a National Credit Guarantee Company Limited board, says new firm would unlock MSME's financing. And on the foreign scene, Mali junta chief granted renewal presidential mandate. In sport, Confederation of African Football approved Ogun's MKO Arena for West African Football Union tourney. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Ramsey Enoch. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app on Android and, of course, iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of our new governing board for Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. The appointment, effective from June 24, is pursuant to Section 5 of NIMASA Act, which noted that the board should determine the policy of the agency with regards to the financial, commercial, and operational program. Among those appointed in is Irugama Ogbefun, Managing Director, Chief Executive of Stads Investment Company, and Chairman of Technical Committee Ship Owners Association of Nigeria. Industry experts see Irugama's appointment as a testament to the vision of his administration's commitment to strengthening institutions, recognizing and enlisting individuals of merit and excellence in critical national assignments. President Bola Tinubu's administration has rescued Nigerians' economy from the brink of collapse, assuring Nigerians living in St. Lucia that significant reforms are stabilizing the country and reviving investment confidence. This was disclosed in a statement released by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. He said, as of the time he assumed office, he inherited a country that was near bankruptcy. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has donated 1 billion naira to victims of violent attacks in Plateau State, declaring that her commitment to the country is driven by love, not politics. Speaking at the government house in Refute, Jos, the First Lady said the funds were raised through her Renewed Hope initiative and not sourced from government coffers. Remi said she had met with the governor 2 days earlier to express her desire to meet traditional rulers and religious leaders in the state. The Julius Abure-led faction of the Labour Party has issued a 48-hour ultimatum to the party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Obi, to formally resign his membership following his decision to join the opposition coalition platform under the African Democratic Congress. Obi was unveiled as one of the major political figures aligning with the new ADC-led coalition formed to challenge President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 general election. In a statement in Abuja, Labour Party's National Publicity Secretary, Obiora Ifo, described the coalition as a gathering of powermongers, and accused Obi of holding dual political loyalties. The Nigerian Medical Association has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to meet its demand to avert industrial action in the health sector. The association, in a press conference in Abuja, expressed disappointment and condemned the circular on the consequential adjustment of allowances under the Consolidated Medical Salary Structure, for medical and dental practitioners in Nigeria. Professor Aldo said the circular from the National Salary, Income and Wages Commission violated previous collective bargaining agreements with the government, adding that the recent development had worsened already existing tensions among doctors who had remained committed to serving in Nigeria despite ongoing challenges. The federal government has offered a 50 million naira venture capital grant to outstanding students in the Nigerian universities. It was gathered that the grant was for students in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine fields. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa, who announced this in Abuja at the inauguration of the Research and Innovation Commercialization Committee, revealed that the initiative would be rolled out between September and October this year. The grant Venture Capital Initiative will provide up to 50 million naira in grants to high-achieving STEM students in Nigerian universities starting from 300 level. 7 members of the House of Representatives have officially defected from the People's Democratic Party, that is PDP, and the Young Progressive Party, YPP, to the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. Speaking of the House, Speaker of the House, Abba Tajuddin, read their defection letters during the plenary session. Sharon Ajay has the details.
The defectors in their respective letters cited escalated internal crisis within their parties, particularly within the PDP regarding the office of the National Secretary, where multiple fractions lay claim to the position. They described the situation as irreconcilable, prompting their decision to resign from the party. A move they claim is justified under Section 68, subsection 1G of the Nigerian Constitution. The YPP lawmaker also attributed his defection to unresolved leadership crisis in his party. Reacting to the development, Minority Leader Honorable Kingsley Chinda raised the point of order, expressing deep concern over the defections and the state of Nigerians' democracy. While acknowledging that Section 40 of the Constitution guarantees freedom of association, he reminded the House that Section 68, subsection 1G outlines conditions and consequences of such political moves. Chinda emphasized that the Supreme Court had provided legal clarity on what constitutes a legitimate division within a party and insisted that legally no such division exists within the PDP at present.
My conviction to continuously attract dividends of democracy to my federal constituency and state is paramount and stands far above other considerations. However, the escalating internal crisis in the PDP, especially regarding the office of the National Secretary, where some party officials currently lay claim to, and other irreconcilable differences, have caused me to review my membership of the party.
Raise this point of order. I want to start by conceding that under Section 40 of our Constitution, every citizen, including parliamentarians, have a right of peaceful assembly and association, a right to choose political parties that they wish to belong to.
He urged the Speaker to act in accordance with the Constitution and existing court ruling when addressing the defections. Sharon Ajay, reporting for Global TV News.
The House of Representatives has passed a motion seeking to include the President of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, that is ALGAN, as a member of the Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC. It also wants President Bola Tinubu to expand the Nigerian Police Academy to multiple campuses across the country. Ugochukwu Mobuno has the details.
The debate surrounding the independence of the local government as the third tier of government is still thriving. Niger State member Shehu Rijau comes with a motion seeking to have local governments from states and the Federal Capital Territory represented in Federation Account Allocation Committee. He cites Section 162, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which entitles the local governments to share directly in Federation Account Allocation as benefiting entities.
That it is imperative to urgently harmonize the provision of the Section 5 of the Act with the Constitution and its current interpretation by the Supreme Court. However, in light of the current position of the Constitution as interpreted by the Supreme Court, it has become imperative that a representative of local government council per state and FCT area council be nominated to represent their interests at FAC.
The House also converses the expansion of the Academy into a multi-campus institution to fully discharge its mandate for the advancement of policing, security, and national development.
In line with these provisions, and cognizant of the need to establish more campuses, which will provide inclusiveness and strengthen capacity of Nigerian Police Academy to train officers effectively.
The House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill to provide a legal framework for free internet access in selected public places in Nigeria. Bill sponsor Honorable Abubakar Yaya Kusada said it seeks to bridge Nigerians' digital divide by enabling internet services in public spaces like airports, schools, and parks, supporting education, employment, and social inclusion, while aligning with national digital and cybersecurity policies. However, Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda opposed the bill, arguing that internet provision is a commercial service and making it a legal obligation would financially burden government. Honorable Wale Oke raised similar concerns about costs, noting that free internet in other places is often subsidized and commended devising private providers.
Internet provision today has been privatized. The implication of this is that government will need to pay. That's one. Two, provision of free internet, to me, is more of a policy and should not have a legal framework. To
canvassed by the Minority Leader that perhaps a motion persuading, service providers to ensure this might be helped.
Provide a structure that enables collaboration between government institutions and the private sector partners while ensuring the security, accessibility, and the responsible use of public internet infrastructure.
Meanwhile, the House has adjourned plenary to July 15th as it hosts the annual Open NAS Citizens Engagement next week. Ogochukwu Mobno reporting for Global Television News.
The House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill seeking to broaden the mandate of the Nigerian Technical Aid Corps in line with evolving global challenges and opportunities for international development collaboration. Adewale Hamid, representing APC Lagos, who sponsored the bill, while leading the debate, lamented the limited awareness of the agency's potential, especially among Nigerian youths. He noted that the Nigerian Technical Aid Corps was originally established to deploy Nigerian professionals to Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific countries in need of technical assistance, aimed at promoting South-South cooperation and fostering mutual development. In another development, the House of Representatives has asked the federal government to create a special fund to tackle the menace of erosion in Ondo State. This followed a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Donald Ojogo on the need for the government to provide relief for victims of the flood disaster ravaging Ilaje Ese Odo Federal Constituency of Ondo State. In the interim, the House asked the National Emergency Management Agency, that is NEMA, to swing into action and send relief materials to the affected communities and provide shelter for the people displaced by the flood. The Nigerian military says during the second quarter of 2025, despite some minor setbacks caused by improvised explosive devices, troops across all 30 of operation arrested over 1,191 terrorists. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kange, made this known while addressing journalists at the Federal Defense Headquarters in Abuja. Kikelomo Okere has details.
The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kange, says during the second quarter of 2025, the Nigerian military, in conjunction with the hybrid forces and other security agencies, recorded significant achievements in the ongoing counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency operations which pose serious threats to national security and socio-economic activities. Major General Kange also says the quarter also witnesses mass surrender of Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists due to troops' overwhelming firepower, terrorist commanders, bandit kingpin and IPOB criminals.
For instance, our troops killed several terrorist kingpins and their foot soldiers, arrested over 1,191 of them, and rescued about 543 kidnapped victims. During the quarter also, about 682 terrorists and their families surrendered to our troops. Among the terrorists eliminated were dreaded Amir Abu Fatima, Kingpin Auta, Abdul Jamilu.
Major General Kange also reveals that troops of Operation Delta Safe foiled oil theft worth over 3 billion naira. Relatedly, troops recovered some automatic weapons, RPG tubes, machine guns, locally fabricated guns, and improvised explosive device, which were prepared by the terrorists and ready for detonation.
2,381,239 liters of stolen crude oil, 605,309 liters of illegally refined AGO, 41,465 liters of dual-purpose kerosene, and 26,905 liters of premium motor spirit. These were also recovered. In addition, troops discovered and destroyed about 174 illegally refining sites, while 45 vehicles were seized from them.
The military high command, however, expresses deep appreciation to the field commanders and their men for their resolve and determination across all theaters in ensuring that all forms of threat facing the country are conclusively brought to an end. It assures Nigerians of the Nigerian military and all security agencies' code of conduct for internal security operations, law of armed conflict, and rules of engagement. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime. When News Prime returns, Shetima inaugurates National Credit Guarantee Company Limited Board, says new firm will unlock MSMEs financing. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now let's take you to the world of business, where President Kashim Shettima has inaugurated the board of directors of the newly established National Credit Guarantee Company Limited, NCGC, at the State House, Abuja. In a statement issued by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communication, Office of the Vice President, Stanley Mocha, described the initiative as a bold move to strengthen Nigeria's grassroots economy and unlock financing for millions of micro, small and medium enterprises, that is MSMEs, describing the new institution as a critical engine in our pursuit of economic inclusion and sustainable growth. The Vice President said the company represents the Tinubu administration, a strategic response to a decade of limited access to credit, a key constraint, stiffening Nigeria's economic potential. President Bola Tinubu commissioned the New West Digital Industrial Park in Kano, which was vandalized during the End Bad Governance protest in 2024. President Tinubu was represented at the commissioning ceremony by the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosum Tijani in Kano. The minister in his address expressed the need for the youth in the state and the country at large to use these opportunities to tap from the various opportunities across the globe. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission says its gas-centric transition strategy aims to eliminate routine flaring by 2030 and reduce methane by 60% by 2031. The Commission's Chief Executive, Gbenga Komolafe, made this known at the ongoing 24th Nigerian Oil and Gas Energy Week Conference 2025. He revealed that the strategy was supported by initiatives such as the Decade of Gas, the Nigerian Gas Flare Commercialization Program, and the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas CNG Initiative. And now from the foreign scene, Mali's military authorities have granted the junta chief a 5-year presidential mandate, renewable as many times as necessary, and without election. The move clears the way for General Assimi Goïta to lead the West African country until at least 2030, despite the military government's initial pledge to return the civilian rule in March 2024. The bill adopted by the legislative body now only needs approval by the junta leader himself, who rose to power following back-to-back coup in 2020 and 2021. Palestinians have been pushed out of 83.5% of the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis by Israeli army forced displacement orders since March 18. The enclave's health ministry says at least 118 Palestinians, including 12 aid seekers, have been killed and 58 injured in Israeli attack across Gaza Strip in the past 24 hours. And now in sport, the Confederation of African Football has given official approval for the MKO Abiola Sport Arena in Abeokuta, Ogun State to host the upcoming Under-17 West African Football Union Zone B Championship. The announcement comes following a comprehensive inspection of the facility, which passed all assessments related to seating capacity, pitch quality, safety, infrastructure, and auxiliary services in line with CAF standards. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, here's a recap of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of a new governing board for Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, that is NIMASA. In business, Vice President Kashim Shettima has inaugurated the board of directors of the newly established National Credit Guarantee Company Limited, that is NCGC, at the State House, Abuja. And on the foreign scene, Mali's military authorities has granted the junta chief a 5-year presidential mandate, renewable as many times as necessary and without election. Finally, from the world of sport, the Confederation of African Football has given official approval for the MKO Abiola Sports Arena in Abeokuta, Ogun State